Alright, what's up? Today we are going to be talking about the Big Bang Foamposite. As a lot of you guys know, a long time ago, we had a shoe that released very similar to this, which was called the Galaxy Foamposite. Now, a lot of people are also calling these the Galaxy Foamposite 2.0s because they do look very similar. Now, there are some changes to the shoe. For instance, it's a lighter shade of the Galaxy tone on the upper as well as the outsole. It's a black instead of an icy, or I believe the previous one even glowed in the dark if I'm correct. But to be honest, I don't mind the changes. In fact, I kind of like them. But in this video, we will be talking about some release info. We're going to talk about how to cop them, and we're also going to talk about some resale evaluations, whether you should buy this shoe to resell it if you don't like it perhaps. But come on, guys. This is a beautiful shoe, but I get it. A lot of you guys have different opinions, so I will be talking about resale evaluations. First of all, let's talk about the retail price. These will be retailing for $230 US. Now, they already released, but it was only a pre-release, and only 114 pairs released at Sneakeasy in Boston. This was the only place that got them, and I do believe this was on January 4th. But don't worry, guys. The next main release is coming up right around the corner, and that is February 4th, guys. So it's almost here. If you ask me, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm really hoping to get a pair. If you're wondering, Keith, where exactly can I buy this shoe? Well, there's a couple of places this time. So the best way to check for locations near you, if you go to tierzero.com, I believe it is, head on over to there, and there's a little search bar. If you go to the search bar and you type in where your location is, for instance, your city. If I were in New York City, I'd type in NYC perhaps, and it would show me all the quick strike retailers there, all the stores that would sell Nike and Jordan in that vicinity. So those would be the stores that would have a decent chance of carrying the shoe. Now, obviously, not all of them will. What I would do if I were you, give them a quick call up and just say, hey, are you getting these shoes? If so, are you raffling them off? With that out of the way, let's talk about some online retailers. Who is going to have this shoe online? If you ask me, I think there will be a couple of online raffles. For instance, there's a chance that Sneakers and Stuff might do an online raffle. There's also a chance that End Clothing would do a raffle. But what I would look out for is any Tier 0 store. Look out for those stores near you, see if they're doing in-store raffles. The main online retailer that you should be focusing on at 10 a.m. Eastern, because I do believe that is the time they will be releasing, is Sneakers. Some of you guys don't have the app, but you actually do have access to the website, and that's perfectly fine because they work almost exactly the same. So if you don't have access to the app, and that is the SNKRS app, if you were wondering, it's not actually spelled out Sneakers. This is Nike's app. If you just head on over to Nike.com, click on men's, right underneath men's, you can see the Sneakers release calendar. Head on over there, and that's the Sneakers site. There you go. You just found it. If you happen to be in another country where perhaps you don't have anything sneakers, you don't have any Sneakers app, you don't have the Sneakers website, here's what you could do. There are a couple of online raffles going on. Like I said, go on Tier 0 and type in your location. It will bring up all the stores that are in your vicinity. If you're willing to drive a little extra few miles, then type in your state instead of your city, and it'll give you a lot more options for that. So don't worry, guys. If you're in another country, I'm looking out for you. The main thing is for anyone who does have access to the Sneakers app as well as the Sneakers website, that is going to be your best online chance, I do believe. And essentially what you're going to be using is the multiple people jig. Now, I've talked about this jig in multiple videos, so feel free to check out any of the videos that I'm showing up here at the end of this video, because I really do think that this multiple people jig will help you. It helped me with the CR7s. I probably will be doing a review soon for those. Maybe just an on foot, I'm not sure, so be on the lookout for that. I'll just give you some other tips while I'm here. So feel free to add your address in, add your PayPal in, and if you were wondering, because I know a lot of you guys were asking, for the multiple people jig, yes, you can have the same PayPal, and you can also have the same address on multiple accounts. The only thing you need to change is your phone number and your email address. If you're wondering whether Foot Locker will be getting Champs Foot Action, I'm not sure about Champs and Foot Action, but I'm pretty confident that Foot Locker will be getting them because the first release at Sneakeasy, that's a Nike and Foot Locker store. So I think there's a very high chance that at least Foot Locker will be getting them. But let's talk about some resale value. Why are you always talking about resale? It's resellers who ruin the sneaker game. I hate them. Well, I understand your notion, no worries, but don't you think it's okay to resell shoes if you might perhaps be using that money that you resell the shoes with to perhaps buy one of your grails that you otherwise couldn't afford because your job doesn't pay enough? I feel like reselling is okay then, right? I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys might disagree with that. I know a lot of you guys hate resellers, and I think part of the reason is if you ever take an L, I guess that's your scapegoat. You can also turn it around. You don't have to just get mad at the resellers. You can also use that as motivation, and that's what I do. I have taken L's before, guys. I know how it feels, but you have to channel that into motivation. With that out of the way, I just kind of wanted to express my opinion on it because I know reselling is a very controversial subject. And to be honest, I'm not going to resell this pair of shoes when I get them just because I really, really love them. But I know a lot of you guys, you're only here to resell them, and I understand that. So let's talk resale. Right now, if you go check out StockX, they're sitting at about $1,000, $800, even a little over $1,000 in some sizes. But you must take into consideration that there are only 114 pairs in circulation. And of course, in addition to that 114 pairs, there are some early pairs that were released too. So it's probably a little more than 114, but you have to keep in mind just that it's not a lot. It's a very small amount of these shoes, and that's why they're so high. So if they're already at $1,000, anyone who's saying that they're going to go for more, they're most likely wrong, unless we end up not getting many pairs at all. But Nike is definitely trying to make the come up this year. Now, they want to maintain the hype, so they're definitely going to keep this shoe limited, but they saw what the previous Galaxy Foamposite did. So if you ask me, I think there's going to be more stock on these than the previously released Galaxy Foamposite. I would say the resale value is definitely going to be significantly less. I would say perhaps I'd compare them to the Northern Light Foamposites. I think that we might get more stock for these than the Northern Light Foamposites, but I do think that more people like these than Northern Lights just because there was another pair, the original Galaxy Foamposites that released, and that inevitably increased demand for this shoe. So I think the demand is higher on these compared to the Northern Light Foamposites, but I think the supply is going to be more. So it'll probably even out. If you ask me what price I have in mind, like I said for the Northern Lights, I'd say anywhere from a low being like, I'm just trying to keep standards really low. I'm trying to keep expectations low, guys. I don't think it will hit this low, but just my opinion on what the lowest would be in the worst size possible. Probably like $350 to $400. That's what I think the very bottom low would be. But I do think it will be a little more than that. I could see prices being anywhere from $500 to $600, maybe even more than that. Who knows? These are just my estimations. But the main thing to keep in mind is when I'm giving these resale evaluations, when I'm just giving you my opinions, the main thing to keep in mind is the shoe going to be profitable or not? Because even if the shoe is only profitable for $20 or $30, you're not taking a loss. Also, with the sneakers app, you get a free return. And I do believe with Foot Action, Foot Locker, and Champs, if you return within 9 days, it might be, you actually get a free return there too. So there's never any risk with buying shoes. But the main thing to keep in mind is that these will be profitable if you plan on reselling them. Now, if you don't care about reselling at all, I guess what you should take away from this portion of the video is don't sleep. Please, guys, don't sleep on this shoe if you really want it. Now, I'm not reselling them, but I know myself that I'm not going to sleep on this shoe because if they sell out and I don't get a pair, I'm going to be pissed. I haven't taken an L in a decent amount of time, so I'm overdue for an L. The Future Crafts and the Jordan Levi's, I already know I'm taking an L on those because I have school and work and they're in-store releases for those. I signed up for some raffles on the Levi's Jordan 4, but I never win raffles. But I signed up for raffles. I'm probably going to take an L. I am overdue for an L, so guys, I'm gonna take an L soon, and I'm feeling it. I just hope it's not on these, because this is definitely one of my favorite shoes. But that will finish the video off. I hope you guys enjoyed this new background I put up. It was only like $100, so I really do hope you guys enjoy it. I'll definitely change up the shoes every once in a while. I want to hear what you guys have to say. You guys rule. You guys own this channel, basically. I wanna do what you guys want. So let me know. Do you like the background? Also, how do you feel about this upcoming shoe? Feel free to comment down below. I read every single comment. And with that out of the way, feel free to leave a like. Feel free to subscribe. Whatever floats your boat. And have a great day.